So guys, just before we start this video, I think it's really important that we bring or draw some attention really to something that's really important to me, and that is how cute these fucking dogs are. Look at them. Why you got a sock there? You're fucking adorable. Look at you. They're gorgeous. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Cromey Zone. Well, coffee time. And no, fuck. Okay, 3, 2, 1. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to coffee time at the Cromey Zone in the fitness studio. So today, actually, first off, if you're new here, coffee time is basically where we enjoy a cup of coffee. We open up our notebook and we look at notes and lessons I've written down for myself. So as you can see, we've got some nice full pages there that we're going to go over, and today's topic and today's lesson is the variable approach. Now, I don't think it's actually called the variable approach, but that's the kind of title I've given it for some reason. First off, I apologize if the camera angle is a bit weird. It could be at the top, it could be at the bottom. Unfortunately, the tripod's condition is similar to that of a certain French army in a certain Russian territory during a certain time period, which is to say, it is quite fucked. So, getting into it, I've accidentally closed my notebook. Give me a moment. We're back. All right, so the variable approach. So basically, the idea for this specific video actually came up when I was planning my next Spanish video, which is talking about kind of methods for abs, or just kind of talking about my experience with abs. I wasn't going to tell people how to get abs in Spanish, because that seems quite difficult. So I thought I'd just talk about my experience. It's a bit easier. But anyway, yeah, so I realized when on my kind of approach, it was never really my goal to get abs, but it was kind of my goal to lose more body fat and retain more muscle. So basically a way to do this, I realized, was the variable approach, is what I've taken to calling it. Now, I use the variable approach for pretty much everything, any goal I set in life, but especially when it comes to fitness, it's really good for cutting it down and specifying your goals a bit more. It makes them a bit more in-depth and a bit easier to follow. So basically, it was explained to me most properly, or probably best, in Igor Obashansky's The Skinny Fat Solution. There's a picture of me with it right there. Look how happy I am. You should buy that book. It's great. Anyway, essentially, every goal you set for yourself has a bunch of variables. If there weren't variables, it probably wouldn't be a goal because you couldn't change anything. And if you hadn't got that already, a variable is something that's subject to change. So this could be something like your diet. This could be something like exercise, sleep, or if you're a computer scientist or a programmer, it's an integer. You get it, string, all your shit. Look at all that fancy, smancy mathematics, programming, coding talk. But not all variables are kind of like the same thing, okay? So some variables are more difficult to work with than others. Some are more in depth than others. Nutrition, for example. And most actually, oh my God, I'm trying not to get caught off. I'm trying not to go out of spin here. So for me, personally, after I set a goal, I kind of like to focus on 3 main variables at a time. And then that's always broken down even further, because you got to set little smaller goals if you want to keep chipping away at it, because you're not going to hit your goal in like a week. You're going to hit your smaller goal in a week, and you're going to hit your end goal in like 2 months' time, 3 months' time, maybe even years' time, who knows. But for me personally, like I said, I like to focus on 3 at a time. I find doing that actually helps keep me most consistent. If I work on a bit more than that, I tend to kind of crash and collapse down a bit. It doesn't seem to work out very well for me. Sorry, excuse me. I'm going to take another cup of joe for that one. Fucking gorgeous. I didn't have any milk today, so I thought it would be a bit like thin. I wanted it to be a bit thicker, but it's actually still tasting pretty good. And if you guys didn't know, that's but you guys already know where to find that one. It's in the description. So if we look into the Skinny Fat Solution again, I'm not going to take a picture of the book because I respect Igor, but I am going to do up a little diagram thing there. It's a fun little equation. So let's imagine that G is equal to your goal, or specifically your end goal, and then A, B, and C are 3 variables, right? So A plus B plus C equals G. So that means once you line up those 3 variables, then you've hit your goal, or you're likely to hit your goal over time. So that works for pretty much everything, assuming you're in control of all of those factors. If it comes to fitness, you are more than likely in control of that. Sorry, just had to answer a phone call there. Hopefully that's still looking all right. Where the fuck was I? Yes, a lot of people are under the misconception that they are not in control of basically their weight, for example. It's a very small minority that aren't in control, or that do have some kind of genetic, not deformation, disability, I guess, that makes you put on weight or makes you hold on to weight. Whilst everyone can hold on to weight very easily if your body's used to that kind of thing, that doesn't necessarily mean it's genetic. A large part of that is actually mental, and it's something you're going to have to overcome, either with a trainer, they can help you do that because they've kind of studied this kind of thing, or you can just go online and look up a bunch of techniques. But most important thing that you got to do is you got to believe in yourself, because you can fucking do it. You don't have a problem with it. It's not a problem with you. You have a problem with it, okay? So that's something you got to do there. So if that's the case in weight loss, then that's one of the variables you got to work on is mentality. Usually that is a variable you got to work on anyway, but you got to pick 3 and you got to stick to 3, and then you work on the next ones. So, yes, so if your goal is weight loss, let's pick that one. What usually, it's really easy to go, I want to lose weight and that's my goal and I'm going to fucking do it. That's going to be great. And then all of a sudden they're working at it, and then they see all these smaller variables that come into play, like, okay, so I'm going to eat better. That's a good goal. That's a great variable. That's a variable you got to work on. But now, how do you eat better? That's a different fight. It's a different goal then in itself. And then when people realize they have to start setting these smaller goals, it kind of scares them off. They kind of get a bit afraid. They're like, oh no, it's too much. It fucks up their brains and stuff like that. And that's fine. It does happen. I really understand that. I really get that. I do that with a lot of things still to this day, and you will even when you finish that. But you got to realize that it's going to take a little bit more time than you initially expected. So basically, our conclusion with that is each goal has its own variables, and each variable has its own independent variables that you got to work on. It goes very in depth. That shouldn't scare you off, because there is a method you can do to get through this. You basically just have to write it down, and here is kind of like a step-by-step way of identifying those variables. A, identify your end goal. B, look at the independent variables that you need to achieve to get that goal. Pick 3 of them, and then make them your new goals. Now pick one of them, okay? And identify, that's your new goal. Identify the variables in that one, okay? And then you keep repeating that cycle until you get to a point where you can identify with. Let's take weight for instance. So let's say you are 150 kg and you want to be 90 kg. So your end goal is 90 kg, okay, but the variables in between are a bunch of other smaller goals. To be 90 kg, you're eventually and inevitably going to have to be 110 kg. That's your next goal. Now, how do I get to 110 kg? Well, I've got to be 120 kg before that. So then you do that, and you keep repeating that over and over again until you get to, okay, I'm 150, I need to get to 149. That's where you start, and that's your first move. And then you just copy and paste that, repeat that cycle over and over and over and over again, and over a certain amount of time. It could be different, it varies for a lot of people. If it is a case of you're losing 60 kg, that'll probably be, over the course of a year. If you're doing it healthily, probably a bit more even. So if you're gonna be healthy about it, that's how it's gonna go. And then that's how you identify those goals, okay? And now, you make a plan to achieve those goals. So how do you lose weight? How do you get to 149 kg? I'm gonna go for a run every day, or I'm gonna go for a run every 2 days or 3 days or whatever. So let's say, okay, yeah, I wanna go for a run every day. That's my goal to get to that goal. This is getting really complicated, but that is how it goes. It'll probably be better if I was writing it down. Maybe I might do a thing on screen. So I want to run every day. That's going to make me hit my goal faster. I'm unable to run every day. Both, I don't have the willpower and I don't have the physical ability to run every day. My knees will give out, whatever. So, okay, think, all right, maybe how often do I run each week? If the answer is 0, let's try running once a week. And then when that gets kind of easy, let's try running twice a week. Let's try running 3 times a week. And then you keep doing that until you're running 7 times a week, once a day, and then before you know it, you're 120 kg, you're halfway to your goal, and you're well on your way, you're getting there, you know, and you've already hit then one goal, which is you're running every day, right? Tick that off the list, actually, a very important thing. That's you executing that plan. Now, what's very important, so like I just said, you're running every day and you're at 120 kg. That's amazing, incredible job by the way. You've hit one of your goals, but you haven't hit the end goal, which means you can't just crumple up that running every day and throw it out the window. Oh, I've hit it, I'm done with it. No, you kind of have to keep running every day. That's a piece of the puzzle, right? And then when you get to 90 kg, finally, after all that brutal work and all that great fucking, like that, those incredible jobs, those incredible days spent, that incredible effort on eating and learning, then you don't just throw that out the window. Great, I'm 90 kg now, fuck it. You have to keep it up. You do all of that consistently. You have to live in that process. Like, for example, if you're getting abs, this is the example I was using. You don't just get abs and think, I'm done now, great, I'm gonna have abs for the rest of my life. You have to live in that process, which is why it's really, really important that you actually enjoy that process. And it's really important that you're capable of living in that process that you're doing. And that's kind of the conclusion of that variable approach. It's a bit of a tangent. But yeah, so okay, variable approach, you have your goal, pick your variables, work on those variables, make them variables your smaller goals, work on the smaller variables inside those goals, and then eventually you're going to get to your end goal, which could be weight loss, which could be getting your abs, which could be getting your degree, whatever it is, starting your business, any of those things. And yes, fall in love with the process, because the process you're going to have to fucking live with. So it's like, for example, I really like YouTube. I want to be a YouTuber, so I got to make videos. It's not like I put up one video and I'm like, okay, great, I'm a YouTuber, I hit my goal. It's no, I got to keep putting up videos every week or every few days or every month at the very least. I'm pretty sure I'm doing every month at least. Hopefully, again, it's going to increase over time. There's a lot going on right now. We're opening up the studio again. There's a lot of fun shit happening. But you have to have a process, and you live in that process, is the point. And then finally, I wrote down a nice philosophical bit here. Your goal is never guaranteed, but the moment you start working toward it, the process is. The process is what's important. Guys, hope you have a fantastic day, or fantastic evening, or fantastic night's sleep. I don't know when you're watching this, but either way, I hope you have it. Enjoy your fucking coffees. This has been Luke at the Cromey Zone. As always, guys, stay fit, stay happy, stay healthy.